Hi lovely souls, my name is Samantha James. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a pick a card for you and it's going to be March 2021 prediction. So we're talking love, we're talking money, we're talking career, angels, guides, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Now, if you're new to pick a cards, what you're gonna do is pause the video and figure out whichever pile or crystal you're drawn to the most. Go down below in the description box, find the timestamp, and I will see you all at your reading. Hi, group number 1, welcome. Okay, so if you chose group number 1, what's going on in March 2021? What is your prediction? I didn't pull any tarot cards in the pile. I'm going to shuffle that freehand, but I'm gonna start with your oracle. This was really cool. I honestly wish I had shuffled it on camera because of just like the harmony in all of the cards. But to start off with your astrological energy, we have Libra and Aquarius. I kid you not, both came out. So lots of air. Maybe you're both of these signs. Maybe you have both of these in your chart. Maybe you're one or the other. But we got Libra and Aquarius energy to start. We have protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Believe in magic. Find balance, which I thought was really synchronistic to this Libra energy. A win-win outcome is in forecast, also very synchronistic with full moon in Libra here and the scales. Look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. And for your self-care oracle, we have alone time, dream journal, and soak in a bath. So I really like that as well because I felt like this kind of calls to Pisces season here during March, you know, using water if you're a heavy air placement to kind of bring some sort of balance with all that air energy some of you guys might be carrying. So you could be some very deep thinkers here, people that think a lot, very Mercury centric and ruled by Mercury. So there's a lot of thoughts, I think, going on. But soaking in a bath is a really great kind of Pisces season self-care remedy. I love spiritual baths, so, you know, and I like thematic spiritual baths. So one is for like manifesting love and you put some rose petals in there, some holy water, rose quartz around the bathtub, pink candles, red candles. I love little ritualistic things like that. And then we also have dream journals. So for those of you who are heavy thinkers and you think a lot and you're very powered by your brain, in this Pisces season, you're gonna probably find yourself having some very vivid dreams. Now, dream journals are interesting because it's not necessarily about, oh, wake up in the middle of the night and write in your dream journal. It's more so about wake up when you do and write a sentence, maybe 2, in your dream journal, and do that for about 2 weeks, I would say. And after 2 weeks, you'll start to establish some patterns because even for someone like me and probably someone like you, group number 1, who's very intuitive, very spiritual, very conscious, it's hard to decode your dreams just, you know, by waking up and like thinking about it. And I think you guys are thinkers and you might not necessarily be getting answers all the time. So keeping a dream journal is more so to establish patterns. And those patterns will actually help you break down and decode what your dreams are telling you. But I feel like a lot of you guys could be getting some spiritual downloads this month from your guides. Now, some of you guys are kind of going through something with warrior woman and protection. There's this need for you guys to really protect your energy this month of March. Maybe there is going to be some drama that goes down. Maybe some of you guys are cutting people out of your life, ending a relationship, something to do with things that are a little difficult, if that makes sense. I'm not going to say like March is going to be a walk in the park. But I am going to say that you guys do have the strength and power within you to handle whatever does come your way. I think it's just essential so you don't break down for you guys to find more balance in your life. Balance is going to be a key thing in this month coming up. Balance with your love life and how much time you spend with someone you're into. Balance within your career and how much time you spend working versus playing. Balance in your diet and exercise. I think it's going to be very vital for you guys, group number 1, to find balance. Some of you guys could be extroverted or you could constantly want to be around friends and you never take that time to spend your time alone. Others of you, this doesn't apply. You're like, I love my alone time. I'm always alone. I'm a hermit. I'm introverted. But it's almost encouraging that kind of introversion this month, because it's really going to be about putting yourself first. That's what this month of March is going to be for you, group number one. Is I don't see that much in regards to love necessarily or sex. I'm seeing this being a month where you guys really like ninja style fix up your life, if that makes sense. So maybe this past Mercury retrograde was very reckless and disconcerting to you guys. I know it was very, very reckless on my life. I really feel this pile because I need to find balance as well this month. Go back to the drawing board, and for me personally, I need to get back to like my heavy manifestations that I used to do. And some of you guys, because you are Mercury centric, you are overthinkers, sometimes you talk yourself out of believing in spirituality and magic. You guys always want to know the how and the when and all the little logistics, and spirit doesn't work that way. So sometimes it's hard to get reassurance and validation that your manifestations are materializing. And therefore, you guys have a hard time believing that they are going to come. And it's very important that you guys get back to that remedy of self-care. That's why I said a ritualistic spiritual bath is going to be really cool, because it's about implementing spirituality wherever you can, group number one. And maybe for some of you who are already like that, finding a balance between the spiritual and practical. But a lot of you guys need to really spend some time protecting yourself, whether that's getting some obsidian and wearing it around your neck or tourmaline, protecting your space, doing like a little spell jar for your home, maybe doing like just a little spell to protect your energy against other people. Maybe some of you guys are getting hated on, or you have trolls after you, or just bad energy. And so this month of March is going to be about really tying any loose ends in the 5D so that they translate into the 3D. But believing in this magic is going to be very important for you. So open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the Northern Lights says you're part of nature, so you are magical too. This is gorgeous as well, because you know, sometimes we overthink like, well, this is not going to happen, or that's not going to happen. And we forget to give ourselves a little more credit that we are very powerful beings, and that we already have the power of manifestation and magic within us. We don't need to do a whole lot other than just really believe in the process. Some of you guys are trying to achieve a goal, or maybe this situation, I'm going to pull some tarot cards, but the situation in which might cause for you guys to have some protection and strength and that kind of thing that I'm kind of picking up on. That's why I said drama, like something that is stressful. It doesn't have to be like drama. It could be like, oh, you have a debt to pay, or school, or bills, or it could be something like that's just like, ugh, it's like you just like, ugh, who wants to deal with it? You know, one of those kind of situations is going to come for you in March, which is why it's important that you are cool, that you're good inside and out, so that you, when these obstacles do come your way, you're a warrior woman. But some of you guys are on your way towards some very big venture or adventure within your career, within your love life, maybe just within the fact that you've transformed your consciousness and your way of thinking, and you've elevated your whole way of life is completely different than, say, 6 months ago. I think it's important for you guys to believe not only in magic, but understand that no matter what happens, if your path doesn't look correct, or it doesn't seem like I'm on the right path, or you're not really sure where you're going, Spirit wants to reassure you that a win-win outcome is in forecast. There is actually a much bigger picture than I think what you guys are currently looking at. So that's why it's important not to do so much thinking and so much pondering and wondering and looking, and do a little more just believing and having faith. And if you have a few loose ends as far as like spirituality goes, tying those loose ends up. Have you answered your deepest calling? I think that's going to be a big theme for you guys in March, is have you really answered your deepest calling? I think some of you guys might know that you haven't yet, or maybe you feel like you're not on the right path because you're not necessarily in alignment with your higher self. or that's just how you feel about the situation. Because for a lot of you guys, this is very, like I keep saying, Mercury-centric, it's very mind-driven. So how you feel and think about yourself isn't necessarily the perception or the reality that is here at play. I think sometimes our minds can be really the enemy, and they have a way of tricking us into thinking that we're not on the right path or we're not in alignment with our higher self. And that's why Spirit is saying, look, it's really important this month of March to spend some time alone, spend some time decoding your dreams, spend some time believing in magic, manifesting, doing some spell work, protecting yourself, cutting off energy vampires, people that are not good for you, even if it's small, you guys, even if it's unfollowing an account on Instagram that is just like you constantly compare yourself to, or something ridiculous. Like there's a few accounts that I've blocked, not that they know me, they don't know me personally, there's no reason that I have to block them, but I just don't want to see their shit at all. Just because once I look at one photo, then I go look at everything for hours, and I just, it's not a good habit. So some of you guys, cutting off and setting boundaries can have to do with some of the habits that you guys have in play. Okay, so I'm very curious to get into your tarot cards, so I'm gonna pull some tarot cards for you guys. Okay, we have 7 of Wands. We have the World and the 9 of Cups. Beautiful. Oh, wow, and we have the 10 of Cups, gorgeous. So it's not all drama and work this month of March. I think that a lot of what you're gonna be doing is setting yourself up for success. You're gonna be very happy. I think emotionally very, very fulfilled. And it's almost like cutting off some people and setting some boundaries and spending some time alone, working on your magic, and spending time to work on things in ways in which you're not constantly overthinking or berating yourself is going to lead to a more sense of fulfillment and happiness with this 9 and 10 of Cups. Some of you guys are in a relationship right now, and this is gonna this inner work that you're gonna do for yourself is also gonna improve your relationship. For others of you, this just represents that you're not, look at the bigger picture. There's a win-win outcome here. It might seem very difficult right now because you guys are kind of putting up a fight to work on some of the energies and the loose ends in your life, but you really are coming full circle with the World here. There is a sense of completion. A win-win outcome is in forecast. I really like this card because it's saying that whatever journey you're on right now, it's almost finished. And I know that it's a journey that might be a little bit confusing, which is why Look at the Bigger Picture also came out. But at the end of the day, you are going to be very self-fulfilled and very happy at that. Let's pull some more tarot cards. Okay, we have the Devil in reverse and the Knight of Cups. So some of you guys, yes, are working on some habits, some toxicity. Some of you guys, I'm hearing, have addictions, alcohol dependency, tobacco, whatever it is. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of addictions, but I think you know what it is. Some of you guys have had really unhealthy relationships in the past, and maybe you do right now, and you're trying to cut it out, or you're trying to get out of it, and gosh, it's such a difficult situation when you are in that kind of connection. But once you clear this energy in your life, which I think that you have to do, for some of you who are single, you will find love. There will be a love offer out there for you. This Knight of Cups can also represent that you will find a new renewal in love for your life. When you get this 9 and 10 of Cups, and finally, it's like you really do feel like you've fallen in love with your life again. And there is that lightness, and it's not so dark and gloomy all the time. So find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Yeah, so some of you guys just need to organize your life. And for those of you who are my mystics, my witches, my empaths out there, organizing your life is not as simple as organizing your fucking pantry. It's on a 5D level as well. It's important that you also organize your life in the spiritual. Like I said, I completely relate to this pile. I have to do the same thing. I just moved to a new place. I haven't set up a place for my altar. A full moon is coming up. Pisces season has me very, very sensitive. So there's a few things that I got to do myself that are important for my level of self-care that I haven't quite done. But I'm really loving this advice as far as soaking in a bath and a dream journal, because I think that at the end of the day, this month is not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be easy. It is going to be worth it though. Everything that you do will lead you to this great sense of 9 and 10 of Cups, this world card. Some of you guys could be traveling during the month of March as well. And that's maybe where you could meet this possible love interest. This possible love interest could, again, be figurative for falling in love with your life again. But I think a lot of you coming to this video right now are at the 7 of Wands, and you're almost there. Like, you're almost there. And you are, I'm going to give you a, like congratulations, group number 1, because you are doing some very heavy, very hard work, you know, and maybe some people don't notice it. People like your parents, people like your siblings, people like your friends, they don't know that you're doing this heavy devil energy work. Like, you're trying to get out of some very toxic habits and codependencies and addictions that you may have. And this is kind of in the shadow side of your life. So people don't take note of it because it's not something that you broadcast to the world, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you are working very hard at it, okay? So look at the bigger picture, group number 1, you are almost there. And for those of you who are my air signs out there, you know, relax the mind, please relax the mind. Try to take away from the mind and put a little more, put a more attention into your body and listen to what your gut and your body has to say this month of March. All right, group number 1, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you like this kind of thing, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. Definitely comment down below if it resonated. I just love to hear from you guys. I love all your personal stories. So definitely leave a comment down below. I am aiming to go live at least 3 times a week. So if you're interested in asking me a question, definitely make sure you look at my live schedule. You can follow me on Instagram at Samantha James with a Z in order to see which updates I post and when I go live. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you, and definitely stay sane. Hi, group number 2, welcome. If you chose this kind of like magnet crystal, this is for you. Okay, group number 2, so what's going to happen in the month of March? This is your March 2021 prediction. I didn't pull any tarot cards in this pile. I'm gonna pull this after the fact, but I do wanna start with your oracle, so let's look into it. I'm gonna start with the astrological energy, which we have is Mars and Virgo. So some of you guys are feeling a sense of restlessness. Some of you guys are really feeling this down to your core. You're actually feeling it in your body. For those of you who are Virgos, I think this month of March, being in a heavy Pisces season, it's going to be very important that you keep yourself grounded and busy, because you will feel a sense of that restlessness. Okay, we have the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, past lives. We have hold your vision, surrender to the divine, fixed moon and full moon. We have abundance and go outside. Okay, so this is where it gets really, really trippy. I almost wish I had shuffle this in front of the camera. I don't ever do that. Like, I'll shuffle like a tarot card in front of the camera, but I don't ever do like a whole ass pile in front of the camera. But the synchronicities in this group number 2, I am not making it up. And I almost put everything back because I was afraid of being accused of making it up, but I didn't, because it's important that this message comes through. So we have connect with the earth, take a walk, and nature's signs. I mean, come on. So for your self-care, we have take a walk and connect with the earth. So some of you guys are heavy, heavy earth placements here, group number 2. And it's very, very important that you guys connect with the earth in order to ground yourself, in order to breathe, and in order to get away from thinking and overthinking. For those of you who are my Virgos and you're ruled by Mercury, we have go outside in a completely different deck in nature's signs. So the reason that Spirit wants you to go outside, you guys, is not only to breathe, stretch your body, and just, you know, be, but there's some signs that nature is probably trying to show you. You know what's very interesting about nature signs, because I try to think about them myself. I'm like, what are some nature signs? When I first moved to my last apartment, I just moved into a new one, well, home this time around, but my last apartment, when I first moved into it, it was a really big step for me. And there was this beetle, like a literal beetle, that kept following me around there was a bunch of beetles. I don't think it was one singular beetle, but this beetle, it would always fly around me the second that I had a thought in my brain that was like very spiritual and elevated. I'd be like, oh, I should do this or I should do that. And it was almost like a yes, you should. Like the beetle would come by, and I ended up naming the beetle Tom. So that was like a nature sign. Another is like way back in the past when I was trying to manifest love myself, I would see flocks of birds, but 2 birds. And that's a really nice omen of like love is coming and love is nearby and you are loved. So for some of you guys, you're in like a state or a country right now where it is peak winter and it's not a very pretty sight outside, although you do have probably access to still go on a walk and connect with the earth. Even she is very bundled up here. She's got her scarf and her boots and all this stuff. Spirit is encouraging you to go out on a walk anyway. Some of you guys are thinking about taking a vacation where there is like a national park or lots of nature, somewhere really beautiful. Do it. Definitely do it. But this month of March, as things start to warm up and spring starts to have sprung, it's very important that you go outside. I don't know why I keep repeating this like one very singular message, but I think it might be very important for some of you guys. It could be like I grew up in Los Angeles. It could be like, go outside, and then you'll see a billboard that is like a sign that you need to see. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be like direct nature, but go outside. It's time to go outside. Tune into the powerful piece of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your habitat. So some of you guys who are heavy earth signs are feeling very disconnected right now. And it's very important that you don't allow Pisces season to get you guys all up in your head. And there's something about Pisces season where dreams and fantasies and reality all kind of allude into each other, and it becomes this big veil of like what is real and what is not. And it's very hard to understand for those of you who are logic and practically minded. That's why I think Spirit is saying, take a step back from like the tarot pick-a cards on YouTube, take a step back from your work or your relationship and just spend some time alone outside. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continuously, and we need to only open our hearts and our minds. So keep an open heart, keep an open mind. Then we have hold your vision and surrender to the divine. So some of you guys are control freaks. I'm just going to say it up front. Some of you guys love to have control over every single thing. And that's kind of that energy of taking a step back. It's happening for you, not to you. You're not a victim of circumstance. Maybe for some of you, shit has hit the fan with that Mars energy. Maybe Mercury retrograde was really tough for you. It was really tough for me personally. So I can relate if it was tough for you. I usually kind of skid by Mercury retrograde. I'm ruled by Gemini, so I do have that Mercury placement in my sun, but I usually skid by. It's usually the worst for me is like technology, like shit doesn't work as far as technology goes. But this retrograde, because I was literally moving, was so ridiculous. And maybe it was the same for you, group number 2, which is that Mars energy, that sense of like, ugh, and like restlessness. And maybe it has you feeling disconnected from spirit, feeling like, ugh, what the fuck? Why is this happening to me? Like, why? I don't deserve this. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm a good person. That kind of energy. And it's very important that you just take a step back, take in some fresh air, and you're just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to choose to believe that everything happens for a reason, and just surrender to the divine and keep an eye on that vision you guys have. Hold on to your vision. Don't give up. Don't let it go. For some of you guys, you really are trying to break free from soul patterns, contracts, past lives. You're doing some heavy cellular and inner healing and shadow work. Others of you are trying to manifest some abundance or some extra cash, and I do see that coming in for you in the month of March. When I think of March, I think of green. I don't know, I'm also a synesthesiast, but I don't really talk about that often because it's kind of like a weird thing, but I associate like vocabulary and months and days and things with color. And so I've always viewed the month of March as green, period. Maybe I associate it that way because of St. Patrick's Day and luck and 4-leaf clovers, but all in all, in my brain, it's this big category of like manifesting abundance. And maybe you need to go out in nature, take a step back so that you can realize that you are abundant naturally and that this abundance is coming for you. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there's enough abundance for everyone. So some of you guys, this overthinking pattern, this feeling of restlessness is blocking some of your manifestations. And it's very important to take a step back in this case, because you guys, with this overthinking, it's not allowing you to surrender to the divine's process and divine timing. Some of you guys are control freaks and you want to know the how and the when and the why, and you want all the logistics, you want all the facts. But when it comes to 5-dimensional spirituality, we don't always get the facts here on the 3D. There is a bigger picture here at hand. So the best thing you can do to keep your mind occupied is some physical activity and just getting outside and taking a walk. Sometimes when I feel really restless and I just like don't even know what to think or do, I take a walk. It's that simple. And for those of you who are my earth signs out there, it's gonna feel really good for you especially. I would even recommend taking your shoes off and plant, if you can, if it's not like fucking snowing, and planting your feet on the ground and just matching up your equilibrium with the earth. So let's pull some tarot cards for you. Wow, to start we have the Emperor. Oof. Okay, we have the Tower in reverse. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. So when we're going through something mentally, it becomes very hard for us to not only surrender, I'm gonna sneeze. Let me know if that sneeze resonated. It's not only hard for us to surrender to the divine, but it's hard for us to even see opportunity out there as it manifests. Like, if something doesn't happen for us, we just close off kind of completely mentally. And that's that Four of Cups energy. It's like the universe is handing you opportunity, but maybe you guys aren't necessarily seeing it right now. And that's why you need to really go out there and expose yourself to the different signs. Let's say you're locked in your room and it's like there's not that much that can happen unless you see a commercial or like hear something on the radio. And going outside gives spirit and nature a better ability to communicate with you. So they kind of want to show you that there is something in store for you. And they kind of want you to lift your head up, you guys, and open your eyes and your mind a little bit. With the Tower in reverse, it's actually a very positive card because it represents this transformation and this inner deep healing that you guys have been doing. With the Emperor, I do see that you guys are taking a more masculine and dominant energy this March and really going after what it is you want. Now, there's no problem with going after what it is you want, but just be very careful with being too much in your masculine energy. Now, not to say that you're manly. It has nothing to do with gender orientation. It has to do with energy. Masculine energy is a good thing to have because it's that Mars energy. It's going after what we want. But it's not a good thing to always stay in. It's a great thing to have a balance between it, whereas the feminine energy is sitting pretty and attracting what we want. So it's very important that you guys have that balance. Some of you guys really are Aries here. We have the Fool. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we have that Queen of Pentacles. So the Fool, you know, representing new beginning, but more so, you guys, representing the innocence of new beginnings, letting go of control issues, you guys. For the people in the back, letting go of control issues. I know, you guys, it's so hard. I know, but now Spirit is bringing this message to you. Spirit is like, okay, now I gotta intervene. Y'all need to let go of the control issues. Take that leap of faith, literally. I think we overuse that expression too much, but that leap of faith is a blind leap of faith. And it's an innocent leap of faith because it's almost candorous. You know, when we're children, we just believe, we just do things. We don't think about failure. We don't think about, oh, is this gonna pay? Is this gonna work out? We don't think about those things, and therefore we don't stop ourselves from trying. We just do it. And then we figure out in the long run, like, oh, that was not a good decision, or it was a great decision. But I think once you guys get into this energy where you're a little more trusting towards spirit, towards yourself as well, you're going to step into a Queen of Pentacles energy, which is quite opposite from the Emperor actually, because instead of it being so go, 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 action, 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 it's more in this feminine, attracting energy, sitting there on your throne, understanding that whatever you touch turns to gold. That you are abundance. You don't have to chase after abundance. What? Who told you you had to go chase after abundance? Group number 2, you are abundant. Sometimes I correct myself. Sometimes I see, for me, my abundance sign and my abundance number is 888. 888 is a great number to see when you are trying to manifest some money into your life, because it's an affirmation that it's on its way. But sometimes affirming that something's on its way is affirming that it's on its way. It's a step away from you. It's in the future. And sometimes I have to correct my own self and be like, nope, it's here. It's here now. I'm abundant now. Not abundance is on its way, but abundance is here right now. Yes, 9 of Pentacles. So yes, a lot of you in the month of March are going to be working on your finances. So paying off debts, making sure that you guys have a savings, making sure that you set some money aside for something that you really want. But a lot of you guys are going to really just be, cashing in that money this month of March. So this is a really, really gorgeous reading. I think a lot of you guys need to just take a deep breath, take a walk. You've done the best you can. You've done the most. A lot of you are my worker bees out there, my Virgos. So you guys, I know you've already done the most. You've done the work. You've done the hard part. Now it's time to surrender to the process. It is coming. And if you find yourself on a crossroads as far as opportunity goes, take that leap of faith. Stop looking at all the, does this add up to that, to this, to that, to that. Don't do that Mercury overthinking thing, please, because it's going to lead to restlessness. Some of you guys have earth and fire in your chart. It's very important that you take a step back and you're like, you know what? Everything's going to work out because I deserve for it to work out. I'm abundant. And I really do see that this month of March. Group number 2, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you like this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. I'm aiming to go live at least 3 times a week. So if you've been dying to ask a question that you want me to answer in a real ass way, definitely join my live. You can follow me on Instagram at Samantha James for any updates regarding when I go live and what time I go live. And I will try to get you booked in. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you, and I will see you all at your next reading. Hi, group number 3, welcome. If you chose this crystal, it's really hard to tell, but in the light, it has green sparkles in it. This is for you. So I've only picked out oracle cards for this reading. I'm going to shuffle freehand some tarot cards. This is your March 2021 prediction. Let's get into it, group number 3. I'm going to start with your astrological energy. We have Mercury and the 2nd house. So some of you guys could be Virgo, Geminis out there. Others of you are just really working on your finances this month of March. We have trust your path. If you knew that you would be supported, what would you do? Soul family. We have divination, hope, work through your fears. Conclusions are within reach. We got Scorpio. We have sound healing and music. Gorgeous. Okay, group number 3. Let's get into it. So a lot of you guys are, this is very thematic to this whole reading. All piles have had this Mercury energy where they are just overthinking everything. And I had to make this video and come back to remind y'all that you are on the right path, and that you are enough, and that you're beautiful, okay? Some of you guys are losing hope. Some of you guys don't necessarily know how to connect right now. You're feeling disconnected. You're not feeling like you understand what's going on, or you have a grip on what's going on. You're not really seeing the full picture. You haven't really gotten the answers to your questions. With conclusions are within reach. Okay, so group number 3, if you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? So this month of March, I think that you guys are really looking to start something new within your life. And it's very hard to change sometimes when we get very comfortable with our job, where we sit, how we commute to work. our friends, our coworkers, the whole thing. And it's very hard to invite change into our life, although we might know on a cellular level that we need to change. I see that some of you guys want to make a change towards the spiritual realm. You want to be spiritual healers. You want to open a business, create a deck, have an Etsy shop, make candles, a channel, tarot, something along that lines, but you aren't quite there yet. Some of you guys are straight up musicians, which is really cool. And you're having a hard time transitioning from the practical world in which you have this job that makes money and you're comfortable there. Maybe you're not even that comfortable there. You just like feel like you'll be extra uncomfortable anywhere else. And I think some of you guys are questioning your path. You're like, okay, well, I know I'm not going to be an accountant forever. I know I'm not going to work here forever. And I know that I'm very interested in X, Y, and Z, but you just don't know how to get from A to C. You know, you're not really sure where B is and what that stepping stone requires and entails. And that's where this hope and work through your fears thing comes through, because we have that Mercury card. So a lot of you guys are overthinking, and it's actually creating a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear-based thinking that is coming back towards you. And it's like, you'll have some idea, and then you'll be like, that's a great idea, I want to do that. And you'll feel so inspired. And then your own brain will be like, well, blah, 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 blah. Like, what about that? It's like that devil angel on your shoulder kind of energy, which I really, really feel. So shout out to my Geminis out there. And you kind of talk yourself out of believing in yourself, you know? And then you're like, well, okay. You try to like have a talk with yourself. You're like, okay, well, I listened to this pick a card and it gave me a lot of hope and a lot of inspiration. But you're not seeing the answers. You're not necessarily seeing what they're talking about three-dimensionalized into your reality. You're not really understanding how, you know, A is going to lead to C. And that's where the trust comes in. That's where faith comes in. That's where hope comes in. There's nothing necessarily tangible about B. B is just understanding within yourself, without your brain trying to convince you all this shit, that you are supported, that you're on the right path, that you do have help. Some of you guys have really great friends and family that are there to help you, that you are gonna be abundant, if not already you're abundant. And if you ever question that, go back to the drawing board, which is divination. Connect with spirit one-on-one. You don't necessarily have to go to a pick a card on YouTube. You know, I've had some lovely, lovely people of mine, you know, over the year come hit me up and basically tell me about how they've connected to spirit. You know, people that were like, how do I connect to spirit? I have no fucking clue. And it just starts really with buying a tarot deck that you are connected to, or an oracle deck, and just pulling for yourself, really. So, and then some of you guys, you need music to be your remedy, your medicine, your therapy, which is really gorgeous. So shout out to my musicians out there. And then others of you are just interested in music, and I would highly recommend sound healing. You can look it up on YouTube. I like to listen to sound healing sometimes in the background of just me doing the dishes or laundry and stuff, because I'll have like a lot of anxiety, or I'll have a streak of like, I'm doing this kind of busy work like dishes or laundry, and then my mind starts to like attack me and I have all this anxiety. So sound healing has really helped me personally. It's also helped me manifest. You can listen to certain subliminals or frequencies with sound healing, like manifesting abundance or hope or whatever it is. But yes, you guys are very powerful. So definitely embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong during this month of March. I truly believe that you will be very connected and intuitive in this Pisces season. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. So don't allow your fears and your questions to fog up your vision. Hope is always there, even if we can't see it, Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. All right, I'm gonna pull some tarot cards. And you don't have to do it alone, you guys. Call in your tribe, even if that tribe is this community. I'm really loving the community that I have formed on my lives, like literal community. Everyone is listening to each other's reading. Everyone is talking to each other. Everyone is so positive and so beautiful. And if you are watching this pile right now and you're from my live, I love you. I love when you guys join my lives. I love when you talk to each other. But if you're feeling like a lack of community, come join my lives group number 3, because I swear, like, you do not have to do this alone. Call in your tribe. All right, what do your tarot cards have to say? To start, we have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Moon. Okay, we have the Hermit. So some of you guys are really building a foundation, or you're thinking about building a foundation for yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, like you are not that comfortable with change, but you want to be. You want to change something in your life, that you just don't want to keep doing it the same way. You really, really want to change, group number 3. And so that change is actually going to set up a nice foundation for your new life. And then I think a lot of you guys have been fogged by illusion. And this Pisces season, you know, there will be more of that. So it's very important that you bring your light and you bring your lantern, my little hermits out there, and you look past the illusion, because it will be a little dark this month of March. Not dark and like, oh, depressing and heavy, but just very moon energy, like heavy dreams and signs through that. So it's very important, and this is for all piles, that we get organized and we make sure we have our remedies of self-care on the line just when things get a little difficult, okay? But definitely bring your light of hope and connect to spirit one-on-one. That's that Hermit card. It's about connecting to God on a personal level. God is going to lead you the way. And I love this Fool card and the synchronicities, because trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And that's that Fool card. If you knew you would be supported, would you take that leap of faith? Would you jump off the cliff because you knew you were going to fly? The question, the problem, wow, beautiful, High Priestess and Death. The problem is that you guys don't feel like you'll be supported because you're allowing your fears, maybe even past circumstance, to get in the way of your hope and your vision. So it's very, very important that you take a step back, you guys, and understand that you are being supported. Really trust your intuition. Amongst this moon energy in this Pisces season, the month of March, there is going to be a lot of opportunity for you to connect with spirit one-on-one. I think you guys, one thing that you're definitely going to gain this season, this March, is higher intuition. You're going to get a lot of spiritual downloads. So make sure you're receptive and open to hearing these messages, receiving these downloads, accepting this abundance and these manifestations coming towards you. For some of you, I would definitely recommend purchasing an oracle deck or tarot deck that you connect with. But you guys definitely are going to be doing some hard-hitting work this month, ending things that no longer serve you. But I promise all of it is going to set up a foundation for your life, which is in the end going to be way more spiritual than it is right now. So a lot of you guys want that. A lot of you guys want to kind of up your game on your spirituality. You want to manifest, or you want to actually create a business out of it. And I really do see that happening, and that at least being initiated this month. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you like this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. I am aiming to go live at least 3 times a week. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, we do have a beautiful community that joins my lives. So I'd love to have you guys come a part and join that. For any updates regarding my lives, you can follow me on Instagram at SamanthaJames with a Z. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you, and I will see you all at your next reading.